Today I'm going to be doing some cutting, and there's going to be no turning back as soon as I actually do the little first cut. But yeah, we're going to be cutting the fenders today of the STI because I'm going to be putting some fender vents that I bought from eBay. Forgot how much these were. I think it was $30 for both of them for the set, and they're boat louvers, so these are specifically made for boats, but it works. So, and it's the same thing that I have on my hood. It's just that it's a little bit thinner and longer. But yeah, I've cut my hood before, and I'm tackling the fender this time because I want to make sure that I have no lift, no drag when you know, all the air inside the fender well. So I have already taped it up to like kind of like know where exactly I want my my louver or my vent right here. So it's gonna be going somewhere around there. I'm not entirely sure yet if I'm going to be using I gotta make sure, looking at the other side, if this body line right here is perfectly like aligned, right? Or is it perfectly in line with this right here or that? So it's a little confusing because you never know when body lines are like completely straight. Like if you follow the body line from the door, it kind of goes a little bit downwards. So you don't really want to follow that line. So I noticed that when you put like car numbers are kind of crooked. So but yeah, so I got the fender vents, and I actually already made my little template right here. Made a little template with cardboard, of course. So all I did is just put the vent top of cardboard, trace it out, cut it, and this is what I have right there. Also, I might be tackling the fender fake vent that you have right here. These holes, I don't know what these holes are for, but there's nothing there. The vent is usually right here, and then I just noticed also that the actual vent, that little fake vent, is actually real fake. You can't take that inside part out. It's like a whole plastic thing there, so I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to cut that there. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I want to do this or not because it looks like it's extra work, and my time is a little bit short because I still have a bunch of stuff to do. But yeah, but it will be pretty much, I will have to cut right here to make the space for the vent, right? And then I have to cut that part if I do that. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be tracing this in there and start cutting. Cut. So what I did first is I used my angle grinder to cut with the actual metal disc because it does really cut really quick. Don't use the Dremel because you're gonna stay there for a very long time trying to cut those, you know, trying to cut the whole line. But I still use the Dremel. So what I do is I use the angle grinder to cut the whole line, and then when I get to the corners I stop because if you go too far you might go too far. And then I use the Dremel with a, you know, metal cutting disc to cut the little corners and then kind of, you know, finish it up cleanly. So here you go. The let me see. There you go. Huge hole right there. And then the fender vents are right here. So the fender vents, they're not, so if I push one side, they're not straight because the fender's not straight, but it does bend, so it does flex. So my plan is to make these two holes, both these two first, and then pretty much flex this down into there, and then as you can see, it pretty much covers the whole, you know, the whole area there. I do have to go to the store and buy actual bolts because I don't have the little bolts there. I'm gonna bolt it first because I need to take it off for when I do the wrap, which is in there. So that same thing with this. I always thought about riveting it, but you know, it doesn't, you know, if I buy stainless steel bolts like this ones, they work, and then, you know, they're pretty tight. It doesn't fall off. So yeah, so this is pretty much done until I actually go to the store and get the stuff that I actually need. I also am going to check if I can get some type of like clear coat kind of thing to cover the cut part so it doesn't take any, so it doesn't rust, because this is actually metal, not aluminum. I double checked with the magnet, so it sticks with a magnet here. It doesn't stick here. So this is aluminum. This is not. This is actual metal, which will rust. Yeah, so I gotta find something to actually kind of like put it here, like one of those paint things, and then just kind of go all the way around this whole corner and make sure that it doesn't, you know, rust or anything. I'm not entirely sure because it's not really painted inside. It's not really painted inside, so I'm not entirely sure. I'll check for that. So I'll do that, and I'm going to tackle this part right there. All right, so I cut this little area right there. I did this by like eye, you know, I just kind of like trace it with my finger, and then I just cut it. So it's not the cleanest cut right there, but it's not going to be visible. So who really cares? Now I just gotta cut the plastic part that goes there, and then I do have to cut like a kind of like a little hole area here too, because there's the plastic is there. I'm not gonna take the plastic off. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna look behind it and see how much there is, but if not, I'm just gonna cut like a hole here, and then, you know, have air kind of like right there, so air can escape from right there. Yeah, and then I gotta go to the store to get the stuff that I still need, and of course I'm gonna do the same thing here, do something here to kind of protect this little cut area so it doesn't get rusted or anything like that. Yeah, let me get to this little plastic part right here, cut it with the Dremel. Hopefully I don't mess it up, because you can't really see where exactly it is. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. All right, so I cut the fake vents because this little vent thing doesn't have like a little hole there, but as you can see now, you have a little hole there. So you just gotta be very careful. I use the Dremel, yeah, just make sure that you're not cutting into the actual plastic, and you're just cutting like the open area. So you don't want to go too wide, because even though I didn't even go too wide, and it's actually pretty good. So as you can see here, I actually cut this whole little black piece right here, and right there, pretty much the whole open area. I just cut it up, make sure that you don't go over, cut a little bit shorter than what you think you should be cutting, and that way you kind of keep it safe in there. So there you go. Now actually we actually have a real vent now. So if I put this here, just sit it there, so now you guys can see. If I put my fingers in there, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Now is an actual real vent. So there you go. So that right there, this, and then now all I'm gonna do is just put this back on, this little plastic, and basically just cut that area right there. And that's pretty much it. And then now you have an actual real vent, which this should do for factory, you know, like stock, like other cars, like actually have some real vents. Don't put some fake vents. So, and then this. So right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the store real quick. I'm gonna cut this reel there, and then we're gonna drill some holes and take the tape off, bolt it on, and that'll be it. All right, so here it is. Both sides are completely done. You got the passenger side and you have the driver's side. If you get any closer, you know, you'll be able to see inside a little bit. There's a huge cable on this fender, which is, I guess, part of the harness or something. This one doesn't have anything on this side. Just see. Oh, actually, there is a cable there too. Something covered. There are cables, and you can kind of see in there a little bit. And then you have the fenders, the little fake fenders in there. I'm not entirely sure if you can actually see anything, but it's there. Kind of see my fingers there. But yeah, this is how it looks. It looks aggressive, I guess, I think, right? What do you guys think? The only thing that is missing is like the actual like splitter. It just looks so naked without a splitter. You know, it looks high, all that stuff. You know, everything else looks aggressive except like the bottom part. But yeah, so there you have it. Fender vents and actual vents that actually work. So there you have it. Knocking something off the list that I have on my window for race season, or whenever race starts. But yeah, so that is it. It's not too hard. One side, it took me a while because I was figuring everything out. The other side probably took me like half an hour because I knew exactly what I needed, exactly how to do it, and I just did it like that, real quick. So it looks pretty nice. It gives it a little bit more, race car kind of, look. I still need this. The splitter makes the front of the car look a lot wider, so it looks, it looks like there's a lot of stuff missing because the tires look so big without the splitter. But yeah, so that is it. Tell me what you think about my fender vents. The wife doesn't like it apparently. I just told her that maybe, she saw it from close. Told her that with everything on, she'll, I mean, it doesn't have to be beautiful. It just has to be, it has to be functional, right? So hopefully it is functional. Hopefully it, disperse all that air pocket inside the fender wells. But that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any question, just leave me a comment below. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing and give me a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video.